We are now joined by Michael Woodford, the former Chief Executive Officer of Olympus Corporation. Mr. Woodford, thank you for joining us today. If I may start with the first question. You climbed the corporate ladder at Olympus for over 3 decades and were appointed and later dismissed as CEO due to whistleblowing within 2 weeks in 2011. Do you still believe it was the right decision to unveil the fraud issues within Olympics?
Yeah. I mean, you have a decision to make. You either turn and face the other way. It happened before I became the president. And if you turn the other way, then in my mind you become complicit. Or you have no option but to pursue it and expose the truth.
Okay. Speaking of your dismissal at Olympus, obviously your courage when unveiling a fraud case was not rewarded at all. Do new incentives or legal frameworks need to be implemented in order to encourage and reward integrity, and what should these look like?
Yeah, I mean, my views of monetary reward, I'm cautious about that. I mean, I was the president of the company. If I'd been 25 with 2 children and a mortgage, but I was already financially in a good position, and I think we shouldn't prostitute ourselves. You have to do the right thing. There's wrong and right, and if you decide at that level that I was paid many millions of dollars, but that to me was irrelevant. It was You don't calculate. You shouldn't premeditate, say, the gain for myself or the loss to myself. It's a simple issue of it's wrong or right. And if you're a president of the company, you're there to safeguard, what is strong about a company, and certainly not to ignore things which potentially could bring a company down. And nearly did so with Olympus.
Corporate governance has steadily become a central part of corporate policy and within annual reports of large corporations. Speaking of the latter, and these guidelines just empty words, or do they sustainably influence the way companies operate on a daily business?
I don't think there's a yes or no to that question. I think a lot of people do just talk about corporate governance and transparency as just words. I think it comes down to the integrity at the end of the people running an organization. Really it's a societal issue. Again, it's not really just about business, it's about people understanding the sort of society we want to live in, and if there's bad things, we should confront them.
Mr. Woodford, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the interview. Enjoy your stay at the Gallen Symposium.
Thank you, sir.